participants, come on up here and join me. You the man, you the main one. You represent the masses. You represent 1,900 people, man. And Alex, any other participants? Robert, come on up. Hey, how are you? I know. It is a sad day.
I know
But
Centerpoint's not ready
yeah,
for the hurricanes.
they better be ready for you. So, hey, we good? Is it working? Okay. Hey, thank you all for coming. I'm Rodney Ellis, and the lineup for speakers today, if we remember it, is right here. The county attorney and his right-hand person will speak, and then Robert Holly, and Faye Koo, an advocate for this program, and Cecilia Fontenot, a organizer who's been so helpful throughout this process. I want to thank you all for coming today. It is not a good day. We've worked on this guaranteed income program since 20. Is that better? It is better. I'm Rodney Ellis, so this is the run of the show today. I'll speak, and then the county attorney, then John Fonbaum, first assistant, Robert Holly, and then Faye Koo, an advocate, and Cecilia Fontenot, an organizer for this program. This is not a great day, but I thought it was important to come and put a face, if you will, on our guaranteed income program that we have tried to implement. But we came up with the idea in about 2022. And I appreciate the support of Judge Hidalgo and her staff, Janae Ledette on my staff for working on this, and so many people throughout the county who have helped to get us to the point that we had a viable program until we were challenged. Yesterday, Harris County Commissioners Court took steps to reallocate the Harris County Community Prosperity Program, HCCCP, effectively ending the program. There's a wind down process that we have to go through, but for all practical purposes, it will be ended. Uplift Harris and its replacement, HCCP, were created to help working families in the 10 highest poverty zip codes in Harris County make ends meet. This pilot program would have provided, my notes say 1,500, but I pulled it up on AI staff this morning. It said 1,900 families. 1,500 or so families to pay basic needs such as rent, food, child care, medicine, transportation, and other basic needs. Unfortunately, they will not receive that support. This is not a partisan issue. Voices across the political spectrum, from Dr. Martin Luther King to conservative economist Milton Friedman, have advocated for guaranteed income programs as an effective anti-poverty solution. It's not a new idea. Across the nation, more than 150 guaranteed income pilot programs have already gotten off the ground, including programs in Austin, El Paso, and San Antonio. The one good thing about us ending the litigation is that we don't run the risk of shutting down programs like this in Austin, El Paso, and San Antonio. We know the guaranteed income programs have been successful. They've had successful outcomes all around the country. Just to name a few. In Austin, program participants saw an increase in housing stability. In Atlanta, program participants were more able to afford a $400 emergency expense account to help them reduce their overall debt, including medical debt. Unfortunately, in Texas, Attorney General Paxton misled the public and politicized this program to serve his own personal agenda over needs of working families. The state, on a regular basis, has given out corporate giveaways for decades in both parties, no matter who the governor was, for very little, if any, benefits to the taxpayers of Texas. But only this program was challenged. The end of the HCC program is a setback, but I will not stop creating economic opportunity in Harris County. In fact, I am pleased that my colleagues decided to take these funds and reallocate them into other programs that will help the poorest of the poor in Harris County. While extremists across the state seek to pass a radical agenda, that perpetuate poverty rather than addressing it. We will continue to fight for families, for working people, and for a brighter future for Harris County. I want to welcome the next speaker up, and then we'll just follow the agenda as I called it out from then. But I'm so appreciative to the Harris County Attorney's Office for being forthright, steadfast, being very scholarly and logical in arguments to protect this program. We're shutting it down because the Texas Supreme Court has not acted. We're spending $15,000 to $20,000 a month to administer the program, and because I couldn't hold the votes any longer. But I think it's reasonable at this point to stop the program. With that, I'll bring up County Attorney Christian Menefee.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Ellis, and I want to thank each and every one of the members of Commissioners Court who supported this program for their forthrightness, for their diligence, and for being committed to helping folks each and every day. I'm going to speak to you all very briefly, and then I'm going to invite up our Deputy County Attorney, Jonathan Fonbon, to talk about the lawsuit. But let's be clear. We have seen the state of Texas time and time again try to step into the shoes of local elected officials and target only Harris County. They came in and abolished the elections administrator in only one county in the entire state of Texas, Harris County. They stepped in and took over our majority-minority school district here, HISD, and put in place a board that was not elected by the people, but was handpicked from somebody who was handpicked from the governor of Texas. And now, when our Commissioners Court, in the middle of tough economic times for working-class families, when they step up and try to do something to help people who are just struggling to get by, who are working multiple jobs to make ends meet and put their kids in a better situation than they were in, they filed a lawsuit. They targeted us through a state senator, Paul Bettencourt, and then they sued us and made us fight it out in the courts simply because we were trying to help people. I think the message that's being sent from state leaders in the Republican Party in Austin is very clear. They have no problem giving giveaways to folks who run large corporations who are predominantly white. But when you are giving benefits, trying to help people who are working class, who are predominantly black and brown, then it's a problem. Then it's socialism, then it's a lottery giveaway. I think each and every person who lives in this county should be watching clear-eyed to the message that they're being given from Greg Abbott and the leaders out in Austin, Texas. I don't want to speak for Commissioners Court, but I would tell you here in Harris County, we are committed to making sure that as people are dealing with the economic conditions in this country, as people are having life-altering illnesses, wondering how they're going to make ends meet, wondering how they're going to pay for a surgery, wondering how they're going to put food on the table, making the tough decisions that come with being in this country and participating in this economy. In Harris County, we're going to do every single thing we can to make life easier for you, to do all we can to give you a fair shot at the American dream. And it doesn't matter if Paul Bettencourt, Greg Abbott, or anybody else is standing in the way of that. So with that, I'll turn it over to the Deputy County Attorney, John Fonbon, to briefly talk about the lawsuit and how hard the fantastic lawyers in the Harris County Attorney's Office fought to protect this program.
Thank you. After about a year and a half of public knowledge about this program, the Attorney General responded to calls from Republican local officials who just didn't want this program to happen because they called it lottery socialism. And he came and he filed a lawsuit and he said, this is a gift of public funds. Helping the poor is a gift of public funds. He said the problem with this program is that you're just giving money away and we don't know how people are going to spend it. And so we took the program and we went back to the drawing board and we called it the Community Prosperity Program. And we made it a little more restrictive because we thought, okay, we're responding to what the Attorney General wanted to do. And what did he do? He came back and he sued us again. And that's why we're still tied up in the courts. And what this shows you is that this had nothing to do with the law. This is about the fact that the Attorney General just does not want us to be helping the poor residents of Harris County. As County Attorney Menefee and Commissioner Ellis just said, this is a broader pattern of an attack on local control and an attack on the ability on counties and cities to help the residents of those counties and cities. They've stopped counties and cities from passing ordinances that would help ordinary folks from doing things to just try and earn a living. They've tried to stop counties and cities from passing programs like these ones. We need to continue to keep fighting, because what's important is that people see that you stand up to the Attorney General, you stand up to the governor when they come and attack us. Unfortunately, we can't keep this fight going today, but I do want to recognize the folks in our office that spend the last year and a half fighting every day, working very late nights to file briefs so that we could keep this program going. Thank you.
I think this next one is a special intro. You want to see what a normal person looks like who's trying to make ends meet. And I want Robert to tell his story.
My name's Robert Holly. I'm homeless, don't have very much income. I applied for this program in January of 2024 and never thought I'd get it. A month later, I got notification that I'd received it. I was going to a church over on Jensen to re-register. They asked me how I wanted to get payment. And believe me, I was very thankful to get it because I think about 1,600 people, 1,600 people out of 1,900 that actually showed up to get it after 80-something thousand had applied. But I went to the church, got my debit card, walked out, got a news message on my phone that General Paxton had filed a lawsuit against Harris County, and he mentioned Lena Hidalgo and Rodney Ellis in it, and it's on my phone. I hadn't even just walked out to church with my debit card. Went to the appeals court with, I believe, Judge Ursula Hall, I believe. Christian Menefee's office did a wonderful job of, their presentation was a lot better than what the state did. They didn't have anything to say. So she said we can move ahead, and before the weekend even came, Paxton had filed another suit with the appeals court, 3-judge panel, and they ruled the same thing that Ursula Hall did, and next thing you know, went to the county commission meeting, and Lena had a big presentation and said they're going to give us the money, went outside, interviewed with one of the TV stations, and during the interview, they were asking me if I felt good and asked me about my plans and all that. Next thing you know, they said, the interviewer said, I just got a text message, said that Paxton filed with the Supreme Court. Just like that. So I can't say I felt good about the program. I felt good about getting it, but I never got anything. I did have plans. They went away. I do feel sorry for the families, because it's just me. But I feel sorry for the families, the mothers with the children, families that are together that really could have used this to get things uplifted in their lives so they can continue on. So now I'm glad to see that something's being done other than staying in the court. It's still in the Supreme Court, as mentioned before, although we'll have to continue. I work with a couple organizations as an organizer and as a member to help people, help out in our neighborhoods. And I'm going to continue to do that because I feel good about it. And so we just have to roll with the punches.
Tell them where you did work, by the way, when you worked.
I had a lot of jobs. I actually, I was in the air freight business. I worked for a freight broker up in Ohio, and also worked for a company we call General Motors. I was in training and development. Also, I did new hire orientation at the truck and bus plant in Moraine, Ohio. They closed our plant. I came down here. Also, I was a minor league baseball umpire in Florida, and also refereed high school and college sports. So I've been around. I came to Houston because my sister's health got bad, and to help her out, and got involved things, and I got a little bit older while I was down here. Woke up one day, had gray hair. So, and I'm still here, and I like the programs. I like the people here. I like what the county does. Like I said, I had good support out of Rodney's office, and out of Christian's office. People was very helpful with keeping me abreast of things because I wanted to stay on top of it. I didn't know any of the other recipients, never met a one, but I wanted to stay involved. So.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Faye Koo, Chair of Economic Justice at the Houston Peace and Justice Center, and a longtime advocate for universal basic income. I've been rebranded an economic security specialist. I want to begin by sincerely thanking the Harris County Commissioners for taking a bold and visionary step in attempting to launch this community prosperity program. Harris County was only joining over 150 other guaranteed income pilots across the country, from Stockton to Jackson to Austin, programs that have shown again and again that giving people unconditional cash leads to greater health, stability, opportunity, and it's the only way to keep people housed. With no money, you can't get into housing. Although this program never got the chance to begin, what blocked it wasn't economics, it wasn't public opinion, it was politics. A 149-year-old clause in the Texas Constitution used to say that giving money to regular people is unconstitutional, and yet that same clause has never stopped public money from flowing freely to wealthy developers, corporations, and private interests, always in the name of what's good for business. This double standard is not just outdated, it is unjust, and we can change it. We have the power to amend the Texas Constitution so that giving people a basic level of dignity is not considered a crime, but a public good. In the meantime, I want to thank the Commissioner and everyone else who was involved, including Judge Lena Hidalgo, again, for continuing to support housing, food, transportation, and other vital services for the people of Harris County. Those efforts matter very deeply. But to everyone listening today, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a deeper fight for fairness, for freedom, and for our futures. Let's work together to rewrite the rules. We need to make Texas a place where economic security is not the exception, but the expectation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cecilia Fontenot, and I live in the South Park area, which I call the Forgotten and the Forgotten neighborhood. I came here today because I saw what this program could have meant for people like me, seniors, single parents, folks just trying to keep the lights on. And in speaking of lights, I am so tired this morning because my lights kept going off and on, which of course started all the electronics in the house to go off. I know Centerpoint is not ready for the hurricanes that we will see ahead. That $500 a month would not have made anyone rich, but it would have made a difference. The state stepped in and shut it down, not because it was failing, they never gave it a chance, but because they did not like what it stood for: dignity, stability, and fairness. People in my neighborhood are used to being overlooked. We are used to getting help too late or not at all. But this time, help was coming, and the state took it away. I want to thank Commissioner Ellis for standing up for us. And I want folks to know, we see what happened, and we will not forget. Thank you.
I don't know if you went here, Janae, but I did call your name out. Thank you for the great work. Who was the person from the judge's office who did? Hannah Brewster and her staff. And who was the person at the health department? Who was the most good? Brandon. So tell Brandon I'll call his name out as well. County Attorney, thank you for the great job you're doing. Robert Holly, just outstanding comments. Faku, you know, I was thinking, thank you for bringing up that statute, by the way, that language in the Constitution. It'd be interesting for the press to go and search the history of it. So that was some language put in during Reconstruction to keep the former Confederates from looting the state's coffers. So it was a stretch. They came up with every reason in the world they could. They made the argument, well, if you can't help everybody, it's unfair. Who would ever say you don't help anybody because you can't help everybody? We could just shut down the government. County Attorney's Office, you just did a great job. Thank you so much. To the 1,500 or 1,927 people who won the ability to participate in this program and who won't get to participate in this program, I hope you remember it. So you won't get the $500, but I hope each of you will find 500 people that you know and make sure they exercise their right to vote. With that, let's turn it over to the press if you have any questions.
Are there any other programs available that can help them, maybe not financially, but is there anything that the county has that can
Yeah.
help people?
So we put the money in the rental assistance. Janae, come on up and help me in case I forget. The 3 categories on where we reallocated this money. Janae Ledette on my staff.
So Commissioners Court plans to reallocate the funds to homelessness programs, emergency rental assistance, and food and nutrition programs.
It is all federal money, by the way. There's a new administration, and that kind of money won't come to us again. But if you look at what we did an equity analysis on how to spend that ARPA money that came from the Biden-Harris administration, and we were very thoughtful about how we allocated that money. Those programs will be ending soon. Child care, housing. You'll see a lot of people coming up advocating, but the money won't be there. All right, we're here to take any individual questions. Thank you all for coming. All right, staff, anything else you want me to say? My lawyers, thank you. Great job.